Buhari's administration most corrupt in Nigeria, Colonel Umar, former military governor of Kaduna State, says. So you now know that Buhari's administration was most corrupt in Nigeria. Did you say it when Buhari was in power? And why saying it now that Buhari has gone? What hypocrisy. All these northerners. We know your type. Why are you saying it now? Why didn't you say it when Buhari was in power? Is it now that Buhari is out that you are knowing that Buhari's administration was most corrupt at his time? What are you saying now? Or are you asking for Tinubu's recognition? I don't understand this old man. He should be in his house. I never even knew that this man existed. He just come out of nowhere now and started making political comments. When you look at himself, you wonder if he's in Nigeria. He looks like somebody from the Niger Republic. Buhari's administration most corrupt in Nigeria, Colonel Umar, former military governor of Kaduna State, says, urges President Tinubu to probe and recover funds looted by former president's government. He also advises Tinubu to be less impulsive in public policy formulation and execution. Former military governor of Old Kaduna State, Colonel Abubakar Dangiwa Umar, retired, has said that the sit-tight syndrome of some African leaders is responsible for the current wave of coup within the economic community of West African States region and the African continent in general. Umar, who participated in the coup that ousted former President Muhammadu Buhari as a military head of state in August 1985, surprisingly told Sunday Sun, "We cannot support change of government through military coup." Umar, however, said, but how else do you change those regimes headed by leaders for life? Paul Biya of Cameroon has been in power for 41 years and counting. Museveni of Uganda has been there for 37 years. Eyedema and his father have been the only rulers of Togo since 1967. Also, Ali Bongo and his father Umar since 1967. They are too numerous to count. The fact that they are civilians and are able to conduct sham elections does not make their systems democratic. He also said that the international community, including the AU, ECOWAS, and other regional organizations, must not recognize such regimes headed by sit-tight leaders as legitimate and democratic. Among other issues, Umar x-rayed the 8 years administration of Buhari, saying that the former president's counter-insurgency, anti-corruption war, and economic revival was a ruse. Umar explained that over 80,000 persons lost their lives during Buhari's regime. Thousands of women and girls were raped. Hundreds of thousands were kidnapped and killed or released after payment of ransom, while millions have been internally displaced. He also exposed how corruption and embezzlement of public funds were at its peak during the Buhari's administration, including how the economy became worse than that of his predecessor, former President Goodluck Jonathan, whom Buhari and his party, the All Progressive Congress APC, removed from office via propaganda. The election of General Muhammadu Buhari in 2015, by which he defeated incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan, was celebrated both at home and abroad. It was greeted with much optimism and high expectations. He was regarded as the most qualified candidate who could rescue the country from its daunting security challenges, heightened corruption, and economic decline at the time. At the end of his 8 years tenure, even his most fanatical supporters feel a sense of disappointment and regret. You are one of the most respected and consistent social critic and human rights activists. Nigerians will therefore be interested in your assessment of the Buhari administration. What is your take on this? So he honored an interview, and these questions are coming to him through the interview process. And then when they put this question to him, let's look at his answer. I honestly don't want to add to President Buhari's misery now that he has retired. having ample time and opportunity to reflect and introspect on his performance as president for 8 years, 2015 to 2023, an office which has so much coveted and contested on 5 different occasions, which he so much coveted and contested on 5 different occasions, 3 of which he failed through electoral contest and court cases. No matter how insulated he was from our reality, he could not have failed to realize the level of devastation he caused on Nigeria in the 8 years of his administration. His strange and self-serving claim, and that of his minders and sycophants that he left Nigeria better than he met it in 2015 amounts to pure delusion. It is a measure of the lack of empathy and accountability which characterized the Buhari's presidency. The most read columnist, Professor Olu Fashion, assessed the Buhari administration as follows. The past 8 years of the Buhari administration have been an unmitigated failure, a monumental waste of time, of resources, and of hopes and aspirations of a nation and a people. True stewardship is leaving a place better than one found it. Yes, but Buhari is leaving Nigeria far worse than he found it in 2015. On any metric, Nigeria sunk deeper into an abyss under Buhari. Without a doubt, he is the worst civilian leader Nigeria has so far. No previous civilian president showed such arrogance and such utter lack of competence and vision in governing Nigeria. None. This is a true representation of the views of the majority of well-informed and well-meaning Nigerians. As to be expected, anyone who undertakes this sort of assessment is likely to attract vitriolic and ad hominem attacks from self-interested and beneficiaries of the regime's excesses. General Muhammadu Buhari continued to deny General Abacha's crime of looting and nation's funds despite all the evidence available, including recoveries made during his administration. This, of course, is out of gratitude for his appointment as PTF chairman by General Abacha. Any serious and public-spirited activist must disregard these attacks. The option is to remain silent and watch evil triumph. Wow. So the assessment here that are given to Buhari's government is very, very